Jonas. Jonas. Everybody calls him Jonas.
Jackster doesn't.
I know.
She takes that stuff very seriously.
Well, I asked him, I'm like, how do you pronounce your name? Like, how would you say your own name? Jonas Fjellberg. And I can't replicate how he's, like he puts like a lilt in Berg that I can't get. The Jonas part I can do. The forecast for tonight was for rain and thunderstorms. Mother Nature didn't get the message. It is now a bright and sunshiny evening in Indianapolis. For the first time in 3 weeks, the Indy 11 are back home, and for the first time in nearly 3 years, they play host to the New York Red Bulls 2. Alongside Brad Hodder, my name is Greg Rakestraw. Thank you so much for joining us for Indy 11 Soccer here on My Indy TV and ESPN+. Last time the Indy 11 were at home, they beat Hartford 3 weeks ago 1-0. Last week, though, their return to action after a weekend off, a tough loss 2-1 at Memphis.
Yeah, it was a tough one, a little bit different than the rhythm that they had in the games prior.
But if the Indy 11 Spirits needed a boost, they got one this week in terms of talent as well, because Solomon Asante, the two-time League Player of the Year, his signing was announced last month, made his way to Indianapolis last weekend, trained all week with the club. He's available for selection off the bench.
Tell you what an exciting and dynamic pickup. This is a player that has so many tools in his toolbox. You can't run defenders at him because he's just as good as a playmaker, and he'll find the spot that they come from and hurt you that way.
In just over 100 league matches played, 54 goals, 42 assists, and those 42 assists, a league record in the history of the USL Championship.
Unbelievable. It's so exciting to have him in Indianapolis. It's going to be interesting to see how he gets blended into this lineup.
Because, again, that's a first-world problem to have. This is a team that's been playing very well. That loss to Memphis 7 days ago, their first in 8 weeks. Starting lineups, opening kickoff, comes your way next. Indy 11 and Red Bulls 2. Thanks for joining us on My Indy TV and ESPN+. Indy 11 Soccer on My Indy TV and ESPN Plus is brought to you by your Central Indiana Honda Dealers, official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11, and by Community Health Sports Medicine. Exceptional care simply delivered. The images you see on your screen are from the last time these two teams got together, and after 2 full seasons of playing at Lucas Oil Stadium, this was the return to the campus of IUPUI, and that gentleman scored the only goal of the match in a playoff game that was played in the remnants of a tropical storm. Indy won by a score of 1-0 because of the COVID-shortened schedules the last 2 years. These two teams have not played since that time. Time now for our starting lineups, presented by your Central Indiana Honda Dealers, the official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. A little bit of a change in formation for the Indy 11 tonight. That's not kind of by design, that's by necessity. No Ari Spriggs, no Ioze. Solomon Asante not 90 minutes fit yet. You'll see a lot of Manuel Arteaga up top for Mark Lowry's team.
Yeah, and good to see Jerome working his way back into the lineup after that ankle injury.
And Stefano Pino also got a bit of a knock before last week's match in Memphis. He not yet 90 minutes fit as well. On the flip side for Red Bulls too, let's say hello to former Indy 11 man Jeremy Raffanello. He was RB2's leading goal scorer last year, has 2 of their 6 goals this season.
I'll tell you, one of the luxuries we had in watching him play when he was in Indy is the way that the kid had no fear in and around the box. He will pull the trigger at any moment and from any place on the field.
Let's emphasize around the box, because both of his goals so far this year are from at least 18 yards away. There you see Solomon Asante, Tim Trilk to his left, A.J. Cochran to his right. Again, I would think 10, 15, 20 minutes for Asante, but magic is expected every time he steps onto the pitch.
Yeah, look, you have to wonder what went on in the players' heads when they heard that this player, Solomon Asante, is coming to Indianapolis.
Quick look at Mark Lowry on the sidelines. Raul Aguilera standing over this one. Again, this crowd might appear a little bit sparse to those watching from outside of Indianapolis. We thank you for joining us for Indy 11 Soccer on My Indy TV and ESPN Plus. I cannot illustrate to those watching from outside of Indy how bad the weather forecast was for tonight, and how apparently, we hope for 2 hours, that forecast was a swing and a miss, because it looks like a perfect night to play this evening. Mcqueen with the give and go. Good hustle by Justin Ingram, the Indianapolis native and graduate of Pike High School, trying to earn the corner. Well defended by Red Bulls too, and be back for a throw-in at about the midfield stripe. Time now for the injury report, brought to us by Community Health Sports Medicine, official sports medicine provider of the Indy 11. Briggs is going to be about a 4 to 6 week injury for the Indy 11, dealing with some shin splints. Brian Rebion and Ioze both dealing with more minor injuries, and the hope is that those 2 players are available as of next Saturday.
Yeah, Rebion's going on about 2 to 3 weeks right now. So it's one of those ones where you're like, okay, just for consistency on that back line, you know, with Ouimet going out on loan, you'd love to see him back just so they can build a little bit more chemistry.
Well, Brian Rebion, you know, was supposed to be in the 18 3 weeks ago against Hartford, and just kind of, again, felt that injury kind of flare back up during pre-match training, and so with that, they have been cautious about his return, and Brian hopefully back next week. Time for our Keys the Match, presented by your Central Indiana Honda Dealers, the official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. Just press go for the Indy 11.
That's exactly right. Indy has this attacking mindset when they're defending. And with the choice between going or staying, they want to go. And they've been rewarded in the games when they've done so. One of Coach Lowry's talking points is win the moments. Possession is great, pretty soccer is great, but you have to win the scoring moments of the game. Crosses, restarts, counters. Look at them to be locked in on that, especially after what happened in Memphis. For RB2, intense, high press, and make the game difficult for the 11. That's the Red Bull way. That's the identity. That's from U10 up to the senior team.
Again, first time we have seen Red Bulls 2 since that playoff match in October of 2019. They struggled in the pandemic-shortened season. Potential opportunity here. It goes right into the chest of Elliot Panico. Last year, RB2 was 7-18-7, and this year, 4 points. They have not won a match since their second match of the season, dating back to March 16th. But in talking with Mark Lowry, he talks about decisive moments. He says all of those for Red Bulls 2 have been late in the match. He goes, they're frankly a far better team and have been far more competitive than a 1-8-1 record would indicate.
Yeah, as a coach, you get really anxious when a 1-8 team is coming to town.
Right.
You know the guys are going to be up for Lou City coming in.
Let's face it, Indy last played at home against Hartford, which at the time had 1 point. And Hartford gave Indy everything they could handle. It was a 1-0 victory and a first half goal by Jose, but it was not a cakewalk for Mark Lowry's team.
There's so many different elements. You know, you got to make sure your team is clicking technically. You got to make sure that their soccer brains are clicked in and they're clicking tactically. You got to make sure they're fit and strong and they're clicking physically. And then you got to make sure that emotionally they're all locked in. What a ball.
Knocked away. Panico deemed to be a corner kick coming. Panico was hoping he could have knocked that ball off of Jordan Adebayo-Smith. Jonathan Felipe was the player that got to it.
Tell you what, I thought he did. I thought he was able to nick it off of him. But tell you something, too, on that, if he doesn't get a hand on it, it's a tap-in goal back post. Great read by Panico.
Already a couple of long ball opportunities for Red Bulls, too, but now a bit of a giveaway in the midfield. And Jonas Fjellberg, who had the goal last week, his first in an Indy uniform in the loss to Memphis, helps lead the attack.
And it's good that he finally got rewarded. He's been buzzing around that first goal for a couple games now.
Neviel Hackshaw played forward into the attack. He is back to his usual position of left back for the Indy 11. Noah Powder, good-looking chip for Manuel Arteaga. Arteaga, his shot was deflected by Daniel De Leon, and a corner coming for the Indy 11 in minute number 5.
Hey, what a great ball by Powder. He opens up his hips. He gets the RB2 defender to jump into the outside lane, and he cuts into the middle and plays a sweet little ball over the top for Arteaga.
Arteaga yet to score a goal this season, does have 2 assists. Mcqueen sends this in, goes all the way through. Settling touch by Aguilera to the end line, but touch a bit too strong by Neviel Hackshaw. Wearing the captain's armband, which of course represents the Ukrainian colors. You've seen that on Juan Castillo, his opposite number for Red Bulls 2 as well. Fjellberg couldn't settle that one. By the way, let's thank our friends at Select, celebrating its 75th anniversary. We'll tell you more about Select in a moment. See what Fjellberg has in mind here. Arteaga.
Oh my goodness.
Now Ingram, the lead. Arteaga tapped in. That's an Indy 11 goal, but the flag is offside. Wave it off. No goal for the Indy 11. Fjellberg thought he had 2 in as many matches, but the rebound put him in an offside position. Wilster scoreless here in minute number 7.
My goodness, what interplay in the attacking third. It was all set up by Aguilera's checking run back into the midfield. When he did that, the right outside back bit on that run, left Fjellberg open, and the ball was played over the top into his space.
Throw in coming here for the Indy 11. And let's thank our friends at Select, celebrating their 75th anniversary. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. Choose what you play with at SelectSportAmerica.com. Select, League's choice, player's choice. We had some premature smoke coming from the Brickyard Battalion. This may be on time this time around. Arteaga trying to find a window of space. Left foot Arteaga. Conte got in the way, but it will be another corner for the Indy 11. First things first, we have a player down behind the play.
He had a little half window open with his left foot, cut it back to his right foot to see if he could open that window up a little bit more, and the defender was just able to step in and nick it away.
That is Sam Williams. It is the player down for Red Bulls 2. Williams is a great story. He has played in every match this year. He has 7 starts in total. As you see, Williams here and Aguilera got tied up. Sam is 17 years of age.
Unreal.
He is still on an academy contract, by the way, at this point, and he has almost their second most minutes played of the year.
Unreal. He's a junior. He should be like a junior senior in high school.
He and Curtis Afori that are on the field together. Curtis wears number 60. 17-year-old and a 16-year-old. Here you see the head coach and Gary Lewis, his first year as the man in charge, replacing John Wolbenek, who had been the only head coach in club history until that change was made during the offseason. We'll tell you more about John Wolbenek in a moment. Corner coming. Good looking service here. Hackshaw trying to carve out some space. Ovante Mullings couldn't clear it the way he had hoped. Mcqueen with the back heel, but not out of danger yet. Hackshaw trying to find a teammate. Look at that bounce. Feldberg couldn't settle it. Arteaga, couple of touches. The assist by Brown.
Oh, what a ball.
McQueen a bit too strong, and now a moment to breathe for the New York back line.
I'll tell you what, a great find by Brown to get McQueen the ball on the right, and it was one that's either going to be a one-touch on frame or back across the middle.
Quickly back to action. Meshach Jerome. And back in the starting lineup, he injured his ankle in a match against Orange County some 4 weeks ago. Let's thank our friends at Keystone Construction. Keystone Construction, it's more than construction. We build a vision. Here's De Leon. Now Serwada. Taken away by Indy. Right idea. As Powder and McQueen could not connect on the pass. And that'll be a foul against Indy. Oh, Powder commits the foul.
One of the crazy things about momentum in this game is the game right now is tilted very heavily towards Indy. If RB2 can navigate this a little bit and just weather this storm and settle this game in, all of a sudden it starts leveling out. And then because you dodge this bit of a bullet, it can even slant in RB2's direction.
Got a good look at Derek Chan getting just his second match in goal as the keeper for Red Bulls 2. It's his first appearance. It's coming on as an injury replacement in an April 2nd loss to FC Tulsa. By the way, this portion of this match presented in part by Community Health Sports Medicine. Exceptional care simply delivered. Raffanello pulls off his run. And a goal kick coming for Elliot Panico.
And a good effort by Felipe just to fight and keep that ball in and give them a chance.
Let's thank our friends at Bet Rivers. They are the official sports betting partner of the Indy 11. Bet with a winner. Throw in coming for Indy. Good look at Alex McQueen, his first year of playing in the States. Represents Grenada in terms of his international football. He is from England, and he will likely miss some time in early June with CONCACAF Nations League action. In fact, Grenada will play the U.S. in a match on June 10th. Indy asked for a handball, don't get the call. Indy will also be without Meshach Jerome for some matches in early June as he goes to play for Haiti.
It's a good switch.
Feldberg got in the way of that one. Aguilera providing pressure, steering the ball all the way back to midfield. Good run here.
What a ball.
Opportunity. Ball played across. Indy got a boot to it, then a chest to it, and eventually a somewhat clearing touch. And then a bit too eager that time. You were saying Jeremy Raffanello has no fear in letting fire from 25 yards away.
I'll tell you what, though, when you take a look at this, this is a great buildup here, and this ball across the middle, if Jerome doesn't get a toe to it, it's a tap in for Williams right in the center of the box.
And that's the second time we have used that phrase, a boot away, a touch away from a tap-in goal for Red Bulls 2.
And all against the run of play.
Red Bulls 2 lost 3-2 last time out to Hartford Athletic. By the way, Hartford was slated to play in Tulsa tonight, and that match got postponed as of about an hour and a half ago. One of 3 matches that have been postponed around the league this week. More on that coming up at halftime. Here's Hackshaw. And Hackshaw to begin the year was slated to play more of a holding midfielder role, but just injuries and I think really the overall depth of Indy in the midfield have moved Neville back to a position in which he was very good for this team. Bit of a nervous moment out of the back here for Indy. Blast!
Oh
off
my
the bar.
goodness.
Missed off the post. And now offside flag goes up.
Is that Raffanello from 30? Careless giveaway in the back. You got to be careful. And RB2 nearly makes the 11 pay for the turnover.
Again, possession has been heavily favored in terms of the Indy 11, but that is a third really good scoring opportunity already for Red Bulls 2.
Well, you know, one of the things that Coach Lowry talked about is, hey, possession's nice, building out of the back is nice, but you got to be clicked in the winning moments of the game, in the scoring moments of the game. And there have been a couple of times here that the 11 have just been teasing that opportunity inside the box.
Yeah, another back third giveaway, and Raffanello bombs away, shot deflected. It'll be a throw-in coming here for Red Bulls 2. Now a moment for the Indy 11.
Oh, what a ball.
Kind of a Route 1 ball trying to launch Powder. Quickly possession and opportunity reclaim by the opponents from New York.
You know, you talk about Hackshaw sliding back instead of, playing in that traditional 6 role, going back out to the left back role. I love the move. I think he can play anywhere on the field. I think he's that good of a player. But in the middle, you negate some of his speed and some of his ability to attack because there's just so many bodies in the middle. Out there on the left flank, he's got the freedom to get up and down the field a little bit more.
And again, Neville has played both roles successfully in this league. He was a holding mid as a foul has been whistled against Red Bulls 2. But that was the role he played for the Charleston Battery for Mike Anhauser for 3 years. And now Neville in his 4th year here, again, he was first-team All-League as a left back and second-team All-League as a left back for the Indy 11 in 2019 and 2020, respectively.
And I'll tell you, those last couple years, as he's been playing kind of underneath Ayoze, the high soccer IQ of both of those guys understanding where and when to go was just something beautiful to watch.
Of course, this match presented by your Central Indiana Honda dealers, official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. Mcqueen to your right. Mcqueen slides it in, finds Aguilera.
What
overlapping run by Powder. Powder looking for Feldberg. A little something different from the Indy 11 on a set piece.
What a clever buildup. You got a 2-man wall. They play it to Aguilera on the top of the box. There's an overlapping run from, I think, Powder that he just plays him into the corner, and they have an opportunity on the left flank.
Curtis Ofori was the player that was fouled by Justin Ingram. Last year, Curtis became the youngest player to ever sign a pro contract with New York Red Bulls. He turned 17 in November. Here's Hackshaw. This match has not lacked for chances in the early going. Chan. Able to read the turf bounce properly. Nice give and go here. Sirwada.
Oh, that's a lovely ball.
Felipe times out his run, sliding tackle away by Timmer. It'll be a corner coming for Red Bulls 2 here in the 18th minute.
You know, you talk about how the game hasn't lacked scoring opportunities. You got 2 pressing teams, and that's going to leave a lot of space in transition as players start to commit to the ball. And it's going to be interesting to see which team is able to capitalize on that.
Raffanello hanging out back post, trying to create a bit of a distraction for Elliot Panico. Jerome got there first for Indy. Aguilera simply knocked that ball forward, let his team get a little bit more organized behind him. And Avante Mullings will send that ball all the way back to Derek Chan. The title holders take the spotlight once again when New Mexico United travels to Orange County SC. Don't miss any of the action Saturday, June 4th at 9 o'clock on ESPN Deportes. Now, before New Mexico United travels to Orange County, they travel here. They will play for the first time in Indianapolis Saturday at 4 o'clock. Again, an earlier start time because of race weekend. Be sure you join us next Saturday on MyIndy TV and ESPN+. Again, inside of the 18. Beautiful cutback. Ball knocked across and Panico. That was not a shot, but yet a save-like effort by Panico to stop the cross.
I'll tell you what, rarely do you see somebody on the outside right of a team being able to get Hackshaw wrong-footed and be able to get a ball across. That may have been a ball that he's trying to slot, but you take a look, and when it's such a tough shooting angle like that, goalkeepers have a tendency to cheat. If Panico leaves his line a little bit, that ball slides in underneath him.
Foul called against Juan Castillo. And you're seeing wearing the captain's armband for Red Bulls too. Juan wears the captain's armband at the age of 19. Now again, this is a young team, but still, you've got college grads, you've got guys in their 20s. You put the captain's armband on a 19-year-old player.
Man, oh man, that's like legendary kind of stuff. I mean, when you see that kind of leadership in somebody and you reward it with that, that's something that's going to last a long time. That's something you have to live up to.
Castillo from Colombia, trained at Millonarios as a youth, his second year in the Red Bull system. Has started all 10 matches this year, only player to have done that for RB2. It's Powder. Feldberg.
He's so good in these tight spaces.
Couldn't win the 1v2 battle that time.
Say, it's going to be interesting, too, on the restarts. Typically we've got Ioze or Law on top of those balls with really dynamite serves in there. Now you're going into your next level of guys delivering that ball.
Good look at Gary Lewis. We mentioned the fact that he replaced John Wolenek, who was kind of a Red Bulls legend, had been with Red Bulls, too, since the inception of the club. Congratulations to John. He was named yesterday as the technical director for the San Jose Earthquakes.
And you take a look when Coach Lewis accepted this position. He was excited to get here because of the Red Bulls philosophy. He likes the way they play.
And Gary had been the academy director for the Seattle Sounders the last couple of years before taking the job with RB2. Chance here for Powder. Mcqueen on the overlapping run. Powder finds some space, but it's an Adam ball, as in right Adam, towards Derek Chan.
Well done.
Thank you.
Okay, ready for your first trivia here?
Absolutely. I'm not sure if this game will have enough pauses in the action.
We're going to have to force it.
Because there's a shot like every 45 seconds, but you go right ahead.
Okay, this is kind of Red Bulls trivia a little bit that goes back to their early days as a Metro star.
Hang on a second.
Oh, good read by
able to pick that ball off the follicles. Gary Lewis says slow down, as Feldberg was the closest player to it. Mcqueen with the exquisite service. You may continue, sir.
All right. Former Cosmos coach that scored 41 goals for them. Let me finish the question.
Okay. But go ahead, finish the question.
Forget it. I'll get you on the next one.
Now with Portland Timbers, by the way. We knew Gio from his days with the New York Cosmos.
Fantastic.
Big fans of Gio. And yes, he was part of the New York, New Jersey Metro Stars, one of the original 8 franchises in Major League Soccer.
41 goals.
Opportunity here. Avante Mullings flying down the flank. Plays it across. Jerome very calmly steers it away for Indy.
All that work for Mullings, and all he had to do was split that space between Panico and Jerome.
Avante Mullings, you can see why he leads the team in assists with 3. It's a Red Bulls 2 squad that has scored just 6 times all season. In 6 of 10 matches so far, they have been shut out. Again, they found the back of the net twice last week in a 3-2 loss to Hartford.
I'll tell you what, it's hard to believe. I mean, in 22 minutes, they've had 3 or 4 really good scoring opportunities.
Fans, you can show your Indy 11 pride and get your exclusive IMCU Indy 11 debit card at any IMCU branch or online at imcu.com. You see Manuel Arteaga, one of 5 players in the now 9-year history of the Indy 11 to have double-digit goals in a season. Had 10 a year ago. Also the only Indy 11 player to play in every match a season ago.
Which is remarkable with the physicality that he plays with.
And missed the first 3 weeks of the season with a knee injury.
That is something right there. That little stat, Jerome heading the ball back to Panico. It's not going to go down as any statistic, but one of the brilliance of things that's brilliant about Meshach Jerome, he knows where everybody is at all times. You see him with these passes and these opportunities to leave a ball because he knows where the pressure's coming from. He knows where his support is.
And Meshach, one of 3 USL Championship players that will represent Haiti in upcoming summer action. Raffanello got in the way. And then Ingram, or Powder, excuse me, commits the foul. Once again, it's Raffanello that creates the action for Red Bulls too.
And he's probably got the green light from here, but I think it was Castillo that just dominated in the air to win that ball and send RB2 back in on the attack.
It was some serious vertical.
Oh my goodness, it was unbelievable.
Castillo.
I think Raffanello is on in his attacking half. He's got the green light to take a shot.
Scored his lone goal in 9 matches played for the Indy 11 in a game winner against Sporting Kansas City 2. The service here. Jerome got to it first. Jeremy's goal for Indy came on September 9th of 2020 in a 2-1 victory against SKC2. For the former Penn State Nittany Lion. Left after 1 year of playing Big Ten soccer, went to Denmark.
How about that?
And then came back to join the Indy 11. If memory serves me right, he was the open tryout product for 2020, correct?
And same in Denmark too. It was just an open tryout that he went, was scouted, open tryout, earns a contract over there, or earns the opportunity.
Good look at Meshach, the all-time leader in matches played for the Jacksonville Armada, where he has now spent 3 different stops having played for Mark Lowry. Jacksonville, El Paso, and now Indianapolis. Castillo. And that will be a foul whistle against Red Bulls too.
As long as you're bringing up the Jacksonville Armada, I'll just throw out a random trivia question here. This Metro Star player wound up coaching the Jacksonville Armada at the time that they were in the NASL with Indy 11. Thank you for letting me finish.
The meatball, Tony Miola.
Thank you for letting me finish. I think you had the answer 2 words into that question.
Now, Tony, of course, he and Brian Dunseth have a fantastic radio show, Counterattack on Sirius XM, channel 157. A pale imitation of that show is hosted by me, Soccer Saturday on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. This week on the show, head coach Mark Lowry of the Indy 11 men, player and assistant coach Grace Barr of the 9 points in 3 matches Indy 11 women. We talk U.S. men's national team, Premier League closing weekend, and more. All available in podcast form at 1075thefan.com.
Beautiful. Tell you what, that is the 3rd or 4th ball in the box that there's been some trouble clearing the box from. You know, Red Bulls 2, if they're dialed in on this, they're going to see that, and on those back passes back to Panico, they're going to sell out and chase it.
Mark Lowry, how are you feeling about what you're seeing right now?
Well, you really would have liked to have been rewarded by now. You've had a lot of great opportunities. RB2 is now settled into the game. You know, as we talked about 15 minutes ago, the game has started to tilt. They weathered that storm from Indy. Indy came away with the 1 goal offsides. RB2 weathers that storm, and now the opportunities seem to be slanting in their direction.
Philippe gives chase, so Panico just goes the long distance route. Ball knotted towards the side for an Indy 11 throw in. Ingram. Ball deemed to have been played off of his shin. Throw in coming. Indy at home again next week. They take on New Mexico United, and they are gone for the entire month of June. Play at Charleston, at Miami FC, at the Colorado Springs Switchbacks, and then at San Diego Loyal. Ofori with the pressure. Ingram, good work to recover.
And I tell you what, when they press those balls across the back line, they've been rewarded.
Ingram, the first-year pro, played collegiately at the University of Virginia, then transferred to Loyola of Maryland. And returning home to begin his professional days, was drafted by Inter Miami, but never signed with the club this spring. Arteaga the flick.
Oh, what a clever ball.
Aguilera gives chase, nods it sideways. Good recovery by Red Bulls too. Brown didn't get the touch on there that he wanted to. Good to see Sam back on the field. Sam appeared as a reserve last week in Memphis. We saw him leave due to a concussion suffered back on April the 24th against Orange County. Sam, the second Harvard man to ever play for the Indy 11. Here's Fjellberg. Ball played sideways, throw incoming. Sports this match brought to us by Keystone Construction. Keystone Construction, it's more than construction. We build a vision.
Hackshaw's dangerous here. He's got a long throw. He can reach the edge of the 6, and you're hoping that somebody can either flick it on. You draw RB2 to the front post, have somebody making a run to the back post.
And that ball got in. How in the world did that thing get in?
Oh my goodness. A little nudge by Arteaga puts the RB2 defender a little wrong-footed off his head, skips past Chan.
I'm not sure who touched it last, but I know the end result. Cue the smoke. And the Indy 11 have a goal in the 30th minute.
Unreal. After the way this game has gone with all of the dangerous opportunities, you would have never scripted that that's the first goal to go in.
When you're 1-8-1, that's how the first goal of the match goes against you. Let's take one more look at exactly how this plays out. It's an own goal.
Yep, just a little nudge from Arteaga gets the RB2 defender wrong-footed, having to lean back for the ball, comes off his head. The little things that don't wind up in the stat sheet.
Ovante Mullings, a goal scorer in college. He had 28 in 57 matches playing at Florida Gulf Coast. That is not what he had in mind in terms of goal scoring at the professional level. The Indy 11 catch a break, and they have a 1-0 advantage.
And you could see the frustration in his face. He knows that he got pushed. He knows that should have been a call, and it's unfortunate. And like you said, it's one of the things that happens when you're in a tough stretch as a team.
But a corner coming here, a chance for Red Bulls 2 to equalize. Timmer wins the battle to get there for Indy. And again, Raffanello can't play that. He was, as either some member of the coaching staff or simply an aware fan yelled out, he was offside in that situation. Good read by Castillo.
He's dominant in the air.
And these two teams will relatively quickly, when you play twice out of 34 games, meet each other again. They'll play on July 15th in New Jersey at Montclair State University, where Red Bulls 2 plays their home matches. In the 5 previous get-togethers between these two clubs, the home team has pulled the full 3 points every time.
That's incredible.
One of those matches did take place at Red Bull Arena. In fact, the first ever meeting between these two was on race day back in 2018.
Right, I remember that. Temperature about 75 degrees, wind coming in from the northeast.
Why are you trying to take my pick? Red Bulls 2, a 4-1 winner that day at the end of May of 2018. Suni Saad had the lone Indy 11 goal in the victory. We see Derek Chan again. He is the backup normally even almost the third stringer. 3 different goalkeepers have played this year for Red Bulls too. Arteaga. Now Powder. Powder plays it across, and it was Conte that got a boot to it. It is a corner coming for the Indy 11 here in the 33rd minute.
You know, you referenced that Arteaga hasn't put one in the back of the net yet, but he has changed every game he's been in. When he came in off the bench, 10 minutes to go in a match, it was his energy and opportunities that brought Indy back in it. And then 2 assists in the next game. And then you take a look at this right here, the little nudge to get the goal.
I would argue that he has had every bit the impact on this season that he had last year without having scored a goal yet.
Who are you going to argue with? I'm on your side on this.
Well, just in case you wanted to argue.
Okay.
I'm ready for it. We'll try this again. Second service here from Mcqueen. Edge of the 6 headed away. Ingram will settle for Indy. Hackshaw to Ingram. Well done by Red Bulls 2. Can I understand if Red Bulls 2 feels a bit hard done by? They have played well.
Absolutely.
And find themselves trailing a goal here early in this one.
And just as they weathered that early adversity, they have to weather this, see if they can find some footing here and equalize before the half.
Hackshaw looking back post, nobody there. Mcqueen will track it down. Good turn by Powder. The New Jersey native that represents Trinidad and Tobago internationally. Should be a throw-in for Indy. Yep, last touched by Felipe for Red Bulls 2.
Great pressure, great pressure.
Indy trying to make it 4 successive wins in this building. Here's Feldberg.
Got to have cover behind that defender.
Feldberg trying to defy the laws of physics and run through the Red Bulls defender. Conte was up to the challenge. Conte, a great story. He played NAIA soccer at the University of Mobile in Alabama before then transferring to the University of Louisville. And as I look to a Division III coach to my right, in other words, if you've got talent, people will find you wherever you play your college soccer.
That's a massive jump.
A little bit,
That is a massive jump.
Of course, Louisville plays in the ACC. I think unquestionably the top collegiate soccer conference in the country. Arteaga, the shoulder to shoulder. Well, he and Castillo go back at it again, but, yep, absolutely. While there was contact there, no one ever touched the ball. Ball crossed the touch line, throw in to Indy.
I'd say it's just the energy of Arteaga creating opportunities for Indy 11.
The throw in coming. It was off of Surwata. And that'll be a goal kick coming.
That's a crazy thing about statistics. You know, Arteaga is going to put up his numbers, but sometimes you need to watch games and you need to watch players to understand their value. Aguilera's one right now, and you know, one that we had the privilege of watching, Tyler Gibson.
Tonight's match presented in part by Community Health Network. Exceptional care, simply delivered. Our buddy John Morrissey from USL Tactics was seconding that emotion about Tyler a few days ago on Twitter. One of the most important players in the league that stats never recognize, as that's a foul committed by Red Bulls 2.
You watch the tireless work Tyler Gibson does in that number 6 role. He is always giving his team a lane to play a ball out of pressure in.
So yellow card was shown on that giveaway as Powder was fouled, and because of the opportunity denied, our first yellow of the match was shown. Not sure if that went the way of Williams or De Leon. We'll have an answer for that question right here. And the answer is Williams. So a foul beyond his 17 years of age, the tactical foul given by Sam Williams.
Unreal.
Mishak Jerome trying to find Arteaga. Feldberg a target. De Leon got there first. Here's Arteaga. Powder goes to the ground, and a late call, but the right one. Serwada whistled for the infraction.
That's a tough thing. You know you fouled a player, but when the whistle comes late, you actually buy into the fact that I didn't foul him. And Serwada, look, after the late call, he looks to the officials like, I should have gotten away with that.
Your own brain cells are tricking you at that point in time. Serwada in his second year with Red Bulls 2. In place for the Ugandan national team. Powder sends it in. Right idea, didn't miss Arteaga by much. And you made the point. Normally it's Ioze or Nicky Law or even Stefano Pino that are taking those set pieces. Pino and Law available off the bench, no Ioze tonight. And you would think that Solomon Asante will join that mix sooner rather than later. In the lone goal and own goal. Off of Ovante Mullings, and a throw in by Nabil Hackshaw in the 30th minute. High boots.
Yep.
Out of Io Smith, the guilty party.
Hey, I just thought of something. When it's a lone goal and it's an own goal, it should just be spelled L-O-W-N. Lone goal. That's how it should go in the books.
You gave one, like loaned it out to a buddy?
It's the lone goal. No, O-W-N. L-O-W-N.
Ah,
lone goal.
Gotcha, okay.
Forget, if you got to explain it, then it doesn't work.
But you try. Powder. Good looking ball here.
Oh my goodness.
Nifty back heel by Arteaga. Ingram. The ball bounced his way. Mcqueen keeps it in play. Corner coming. Tonight's game brought to you by Radical Ideas, like loving your enemies, your neighbors, and yourself unconditionally. Find out more at hegetsus.com. Mcqueen has his teammates cheering him on this corner. Hackshaw did not get everything he wanted to on that one.
And I tell you, even though, Law and Ioze are your typical guys serving on restarts and stuff, the serves have been good. McQueen and Powder have done a nice job of putting the 11 in dangerous spots on restarts.
Final 5 minutes plus stoppage time of the half, brought to us by your Central Indiana Honda dealers, official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11.
Good energy. Good energy. Both teams are getting rewarded for pressing and chasing up in the attacking third.
What's going to be Mark Lowry's message to his guys at the break?
Well, I tell you, I think there's been so many turnovers in the back third that he's going to want to move the ball out of there a little bit quicker, or just get them refocused and locked in on that, and then just to keep attacking. The opportunities are coming.
That was Mark's top assistant, Matt Williams. He was chatting up on the sidelines. And not your typical crowd for a good-looking Saturday night in Indianapolis. Weather forecast was for it not to be a beautiful night in downtown Indianapolis. And that's a lot of fans probably made a decision, well, to watch our broadcast tonight on MyIndy TV and ESPN+. We are thankful for that. We hope for better weather next Saturday. Again, an earlier start time than usual, 4 o'clock because of it being 500 weekend. New Mexico United, we hope you join us there. Fjellberg off to the races. Fjellberg picks a side and finds the back of the net. Back-to-back weeks with goals for Jonas. 2-goal lead going to the break. Cue the smoke for a second time tonight. 2-0, Indy 11 in front.
Hey, outside of the finish, Two beautiful things on this ball. Noah Powder already knows that Fjellberg is right on that back line and lays the ball perfectly right behind the back line where it sits up, and he's able to run onto it. A brilliant ball, but even more so, a brilliant IQ to know where Fjellberg was.
Jonas Fjellberg, the first Norwegian to play for the Indy 11. Young man had 22 goals in 4 years at the University of Dayton. Drafted by FC Cincinnati a year ago, had 3 goals in 8 games for RGV. Caught the attention of Mark Lowry, who brings him to Indy, and the 11 are up by 2.
And I believe he is the first Norwegian to score in back-to-back games for Indy 11.
Also a true statement. Not our nugget of the game.
Of course not.
We'll have that in the second half, brought to us by Impact Financial.
He's been dynamic. He and Aguilera are 2 finds that I didn't expect to be such dynamic players.
And Aguilera, a guy that was kind of lost in the Orlando City system. And I remember talking with Coach Lowry before the season started. He said, I think you get him minutes every match and good things will happen. He's been right about that. Let's thank our friends at Johnson Controls. Johnson Controls, the power behind your mission. Well, the mission now has changed a bit for the Indy 11. 1 goal that was a gift, a second goal that was earned, but a 2-goal lead, however you get to it, barring something changing here in the final minutes before halftime. And again, when you're a team that has lost so many close games as RB2 has, you worry about that goal right before halftime have an effect on the rest of the match. Noah Powder shown the first yellow given to the Indy 11 tonight, so both teams have seen yellow once in the opening 45 minutes.
Well, there's 2 parts of these MLS 2 teams, and their main focus is developing for, and in talking to Coach Lewis today, he says, look, Sunday through Thursday, we're development. Friday, Saturday, we're here to win. So don't expect them to go in there and say, hey, nice effort,
right,
let's learn from this. Expect them to come out with some changes or some different focus in that second half to come and chase this game, and that's exactly what he's doing right there.
And again, this is their final year in the USL Championship. They allowed United, LA Galaxy 2, and Atlanta United 2 will all head towards MLS Next Pro a year from now. A minimal amount of stoppage time. 1 minute will be added to our 45 minutes played here in half number 1. And Indy playing all 4 of those 2 teams this year.
Trouble.
Ball forward for Aguilera. Feldberg again has a sliver of space. Knocks it forward, Aguilera plays it across. Chan couldn't get to it, and Mcqueen puts it on the wrong side of the post. Now, Chan is down behind the play, and in the lineup that we had before the game, Red Bulls 2 did not list a backup goalkeeper tonight. That will be the end of the half. And so Chan will have 50 minutes to make sure that he is okay. We will monitor that when we come out of the halftime break. But Mark Lowry's side trying to get back to their winning ways at home, buoyed by the second goal of the match that belongs to Jonas Fjellberg. It adds up to a 2-0 lead here at the break. Early chances that Red Bulls 2 could capitalize on. A couple of late chances that find the back of the net for the Indy 11. Stay tuned. Halftime from Carroll Stadium comes your way next as you're watching Indy 11 Soccer on MyIndy TV and ESPN+. On a surprisingly better weather night than we thought we would have in downtown Indianapolis, we welcome you back to Indy 11 Soccer as Indy 11 plays host to New York Red Bulls 2 for the first time in nearly 3 years. We'll get back. On a surprisingly better weather night than we thought we would have in downtown Indianapolis, we welcome you back to Indy 11 Soccer as Indy 11 plays host to New York Red Bulls 2 for the first time in nearly 3 years. We'll get back to this match coming up in a matter of moments, but we always start our halftime by talking about things around the USL Championship, and with that, let's focus on our team of the week across the 27 different members of the USL Championship. The Alaski brothers had plenty of goals last week. Orange County, in fact, had 5.5. They also had 2 members of the team of the week, as Richard's a part of it as well. Wesley Carroll for his efforts against the Indy 11, representing the team of the week. Russell Cicerone also making the team of the week. Maxi Rodriguez representing Detroit City FC as part of our team of the week this week. Now, news and notes around the league. Brad, how about the Indy 11 women getting it done again after 6 goals against Flint last Thursday? A 2-0 victory and a brace for Katie Soderstrom last night in Louisville.
Yeah, and not an easy clean sheet either. 13 saves amassed to get that.
Mackenzie Wood was absolutely tremendous. She'll be a guest of ours on Soccer Saturday next weekend before the ladies return to action against AFC Ann Arbor. Let's go to the bottom of your screen. Unfortunately, 3 different postponements. In fact, the FC Tulsa match was not postponed until about an hour or so ago, as again, COVID-19 issues flaring again across the soccer landscape.
Ouch. One of the things that I could not stand, it was getting a game canceled. There's a certain amount of energy that you put into that day and excitement, and then just have it ripped out from underneath you.
For more information about the USL Championship, make sure you log on to uslchampionship.com. It gives you stats, scores, and the latest standings, news, and information on all things USL Championship. And now, here's more on all things United Soccer League.
It's a goal for Orange County SC, and their first of the season.
And that's full time. The old guard with a new trophy. Orange County wins the USL Championship final.
For the black and yellow, New Mexico takes the lead, and all 12,000 plus here at the lab are on their feet.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
I'm on that routine.
Or let us match our clothes again.
Ever. An own goal from Red Bulls 2, then a very much deserved goal from Jonas Feldberg on tremendous service from Noah Powder. Adds up to a 2-0 lead at halftime. Indy 11 leading Red Bulls 2. Indy 11 entered this match 7th in terms of the table in the Eastern Conference, and 7 teams will make the postseason. Now I say that, and there are 24 matches left to go after this one, but you see Indy 11 in 7th. And really, Brad, what we've kind of got in the Eastern Conference, you got 3 groups. You see kind of the space between Detroit City and Tampa Bay, then the space between Tulsa and Hartford and those behind them. The good news is, of those in a playoff position, the Indy 11 have played the fewest matches. Always good to have some matches in hand.
It seems like that happens almost every year, that you have that luxury of watching the table unfold a little bit while you still have a couple games in hand.
By the way, of note, Lou City suffered their first loss of the season a week ago. Now, elsewhere around the USL Championship, 2 teams the Indy 11 will see in early June. Miami FC leading Charleston Battery by a score of 3-0. Detroit City already has an early 1-goal lead on Atlanta United 2. As referenced, FC Tulsa and Hartford postponed. That occurred just before the match tonight. Big showdown in St. Petersburg. And Bob Lilly's Pittsburgh Riverhounds have an early 1-goal advantage.
I'll tell you what, Cicerone made the team of the week. That's a guy that can score goals all season long in critical moments. Now you put on his side also Dane Kelly, and Bob Lilly has a dual scoring threat.
Here are the upcoming matches for the Indy 11, as we referenced earlier. After next week in New Mexico, Indy is on the road for the entirety of the month of June. By the way, those back-to-back matches, albeit spaced out by 10 days, at Miami and at Colorado Springs, we will televise both of those games on My Indy TV. So make sure you join us for those Wednesday, June 8th and Saturday, June 18th. We'll take this quick time out. When we come back, highlights from half number 1, and we'll talk to the head coach and Mark Lowry as well. That comes your way next on My Indy TV.
You around on June 9th?
I am.
Edwin McCain concert at the Rathskeller?
few more clouds starting to make their way towards the skyline of downtown Indianapolis. We hope the rain holds off for about another hour or so. Indy 11, a pair of goals. The last one scored by that gentleman, second in as many weeks. Jonas Feldberg has helped pace the Indy 11 to a 2-goal advantage. We're now joined by the head coach of the Indy 11 in Mark Lowry. Mark, your thoughts overall on what you saw from your team in the opening 45 minutes?
I love the football. I love the energy. I love the enthusiasm, the commitment to go forward. Create numerous chances out of one attack, which is what we spoke about. We don't want to just attack once, get one shot, and then defend. We want to create. If we don't score it, let's make sure there's a second wave, a third wave, a fourth wave of attacks without pressure. Guys do that really well. Really happy with that.
From a standpoint of Solomon Asante, I know you want to try to work him in if possible. Any sort of target minute you're looking to bring him in at this point?
I think he's got 10-15 minutes in him today. We obviously don't want to overdo it with him, and we want to respect the game and do what's right for the game, but we've got to try and get him some minutes. The sooner we can get him those minutes and build him up, the better it will be for us over the course of the season.
Sounds good, my friend. We'll talk to you after the match.
Thank you.
Mark Lowry, head coach of the Indy 11, kind enough to join us with that. Let's show you highlights from half number 1. And Brad, there were chances aplenty for both teams in this first half.
Oh, I'll tell you what, even though this wound up as an offsides goal, great save by Chan just to keep that ball out of the net, because that is a goal if he doesn't hit that one.
Again, that is an own goal. Do you give an assist for the nudge to Manuel Arteaga on that one?
I'll tell you what, he makes things happen, and you hate to see something like that, but he makes things happen.
Speaking of making things happen, what a dime dropped by Noah Powder, and the finish clinical from Jonas Feldberg.
Unbelievable. That's like chipping it up out of the bunker and just having enough backspin that once it hits the green, it just sort of bites around the hole.
You won't see it done any better at Southern Hills on the PGA Championship tomorrow, when you also tune in for fourth and final round coverage on ESPN+. So Feldberg now has his second goal of the season. Chan is back out there, by the way, in goal, so I'm getting a little bit nicked up at the end of the first half for Red Bulls too.
And it's tough, as a goalkeeper, you come out, you've had 2 goals that you've given up early, but he makes a great save on that Arteaga one. He comes out in traffic and clears a ball out, and you take a look at his defenders going up for the ball. Arteaga's not going up for the ball. It's an own goal that just nicks past him. A tough first half for the kid.
We don't have a chance to talk to the opposing head coach, but if you're Gary Lewis, what was your message to your guys at halftime?
Hey, keep the energy up. We've had opportunities. We just got to be better in that final third. We got to be a bit more lethal.
Are a couple of subs here for Red Bulls too. So Michael Knapp will check in, and Adam Najum will check in as well. Najum is one of 2 players that is on a 25-day contract, a short-term deal with Red Bulls too, basically a tryout contract, lack better term. Najum, a guy that is more of a veteran player. He is 27 years of age, and we have seen him at other stops along the way here in the USL Championship. Timmer didn't handle that one the way he wanted to. Panico spells it, and then the follow-up shot is missed.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, it was sitting there on a platter for Red Bulls too.
You'd like to see the angle on that, either from behind the goal or from behind the shot, so that you could see if Panico had it cut off, because there's no excuse to miss that ball in that moment. And I tell you what, when you're Coach Lowry, here you go. Take a look at this great little header off that ball.
Just missed it.
Hey, he missed it, but I'll tell you what, Panico did a great job of forcing him that he's going to have to hit a perfect shot because the window was tiny.
That was Adebayo Smith. Had that opportunity. Go by the wayside.
And you hear it all the time, 2-0 lead is a dangerous lead because it's such a momentum swinger. So that's one of the things you touch on in halftime. Boys, don't lose your focus. It's a 1-8 team. You got a 2-goal lead. Don't take your foot off the gas. And so you hate coming out in the first minute and a half and giving up an opportunity like that.
Adebayo Smith trying to run around Meshach Jerome and plays it off of Alex Mcqueen. And then the foul is given. Well done by Jared Timmer to carve out some space. We have not said much about Adebayo Smith tonight, the man that missed that opportunity from the top of the 18. He is on loan from the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Scored 4 goals with Tampa Bay a year ago.
From the camera angle and the run of play, you look at that and you're like, how did you miss that ball? But then you look at it from behind the goal and you recognize he had only one sliver that he could have hit it.
Player down for Red Bulls 2. And that'll be a foul against Arteaga. As we mentioned, Najim as well as Knapp enter for Red Bulls 2. Here's Raffanello. The ball first was Indy. Tremendously well done to stop that ball on a dime before it crossed the end line. And a giveaway in the midfield by RB2. Indy 11 Premium Suites, the perfect way to entertain your guests. Learn more at Indy11.com or call 317-685-1100. Elliot Panico trying for his second clean sheet of the season. Another one came in the last home match against Hartford. Elliott had 11 of those last season. Young man on loan from Nashville SC in Major League Soccer. He has played every minute of every USL Championship match so far. Opportunity here. A little strong on the first touch that time by Noah Powder.
And you see that one adjustment. That's one of the things that every day that you come to the field, you don't always have all of your elements clicking at the same time. And so you have to recognize when something's off a little bit and change. And that ball that was being played around through that back line, coming through Panico, was a little bit off in the first half. And now everything you're seeing is going up the field. You know, why mess with it? If it's not clicking 100% today, let's just change the field position.
Foul behind the play, advantage being played.
What a run.
Carving out some space. Jerome gets back. Ingram wins the race to the top of the 18.
Yeah, you'd love to see him more aggressive in the box. You got 1v1. You're in a pretty good scoring opportunity.
Now Feldberg is onside. Jonas Feldberg gives it a touch, and that will be a goal kick. But Feldberg touched it last.
And I tell you what, Powder right now has everything at his disposal. His touch is on, his vision is on, his creativity is on. Get him touches.
It's Porsche the Match presented by your Central Indiana Honda dealers, the official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. For Noah Powder, this is his 9th match played, his 7th start of the year. Over 100 appearances in the USL Championship, and this is a special match for Noah because he grew up playing in the Red Bulls Academy. So I guarantee you get the wick turned up just a little bit.
It's incredible. Even if the parting is mutual or, you decide to move on, there's always a little bit of extra juice when you're playing against a former team.
He is one of 3 players that came to the Indy 11 from Real Monarchs a year ago. Sam Brown, Ari Spriggs being the other 2. Arteaga went to ground. Official wasn't buying it. Sam Brown applying pressure. Arteaga then wins it back, and unhappy with the whistle that was given when it was. The Indy 11 women will be playing in Sam Brown's hometown next Saturday night, native of Ann Arbor, Michigan. Indy 11 women return to Grand Park Event Center on June 3rd. Hopefully you can join us. Over 1,500 of you did for their inaugural match, the first match in W League history, back on May 6th. Here's Mullings. Mullings trying to go top shelf. Lifted it up and over the ball.
Yeah, and that's tough. I mean, Hackshaw has him in a non-shooting angle. Panico's in the right spot on that. That ball has to go back across the middle. And look at this defense right here. This is just where you trust your goalkeeper. You just say, look, I'm going to give him the shot from this place, and I'm just going to take away any ball that he can slot through the 18. Okay, here we got a little break here. Here's your New York Indy trivia. These 3 New York-born basketball players, 2 of them had long NBA careers, wound up playing for the Pacers. 1 wound up coaching the Pacers. Who are those 3?
Playing for the Pacers and then coaching the Pacers.
No. So you got 3 different people.
Yep.
All born in New York.
Yes.
All have Pacer ties. 2 of them are very long-careered NBA players that had brief stints with the Pacers, and 1 of them wound up coaching the
Larry
Indians.
Brown would be the coach.
Bing, that's 1 out of the 3.
Mark Jackson immediately comes to mind in terms of playing for the Pacers, right?
I don't think he was born in New York.
Even though he played at St. John's University.
Right.
Okay.
Now, that St. John's, I think, is a key for you.
Chris Mullen.
Yep, that's 1 of them. Now you got 2 out of the 3. There's 1 more.
So looking for a New York-born player.
New York-born NBA player, long career, that wound up playing a couple years with the Pacers. Oh, great interplay. Good run by Powder. Aguilar saw him, just could not slide it past the Red Bulls defender.
Ball knocked forward. Chance here.
What a flick by Raffanello. Outside of the foot.
Let's thank our friends at Bet Rivers, the official sports betting partner of the Indy 11. Bet with a winner. Hackshaw.
Well defended. That's interesting. In that first half, whenever the ball went out to Mcqueen, they were sending bodies in quickly.
Aguilera. Good combination play. Here's Ingram. Ingram gives it a blast, but by the time he did, the window had closed. I think he was more open than he realized when the ball first came to his feet.
And that was one you kind of felt when the ball came to his feet that he wanted to play make. He wanted to find another option to move. Looked up and there's a ton of space. I'm just going to step and hit it. Oh, wow.
The read by Timmer to get in the way. That's Knapp. First time we have called his name. Midfielder playing his 5th match of the year, all as a substitute for Red Bulls 2. And that foul will go against Serwada of RB2. So I need to get you that 3rd Pacer player.
I need to get 3rd Pacer player, yeah.
Done a couple of years with the Pacers.
A couple of years with the Pacers.
Long time NBA player.
Career, yep.
Would Kenny Anderson be that guy?
No.
Because he did play with the Indiana Pacers at the end of his career.
There's a lot of guys that play with the Pacers.
A lot of guys from New York that played for the Indiana Pacers. To move the broadcast along, give me the answer, please.
Sam Perkins.
Of course, Big Smooth.
Oh, good find.
The turn, the slide. Arteaga tries to open the field for a teammate, looking back post Feldberg, and snapped it down off a Red Bulls 2 player.
Great spacing in the box.
Corner coming in the 57th minute.
Arteaga does enough to create a little bit of space to get the ball off. You got Fjellberg on the back post. You got, I think it was Ingram coming down the middle.
Well, that was off the shoulder of Mullings. That was not a handball in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Good no call by our referee there. Noah Powder to serve it in. Already an assist for Noah tonight. Aguilera. Good run by Timmer. Timmer able to play it off of Adebayo Smith. Throw-in coming here for the Indy 11.
Good recognition. Timmer sees Hackshaw's pulled up a little bit, knows that he's got to come out of his center spot to make a play on that ball.
McGowan Insurance is a proud partner of the Indy 11. Visit McGowan, INSGRP.com for all your insurance needs.
What a touch.
Little frustration release there by Fjellberg. As he said Conte to the Carroll Stadium turf. Fjellberg was kind of a late arrival to camp for the Indy 11. Still things like visa issues to work with in a world that's coming out of the COVID pandemic. Made his debut as a sub for the Indy 11 in the opening match against Loudoun United.
And he brings some, endless energy and pace up front, but also just unbelievable creativity and ability to hold the ball.
And what impressed me is that Mark Lowry noticed this coaching in El Paso last year. Jonas didn't join RGV until the end of August. He was loaned out by FC Cincinnati because he was drafted by FC Cincinnati. And FC Cincinnati, I thought it was really kind of a cool gesture. They drafted Jonas in January, but because of, again, the COVID-shortened season, they waited to sign him until May so he could play his final college season at the University of Dayton. So Jonas played all of 8 matches in the USL Championship last year, scored 3 goals, and based on that, Mark Lowry brought him to Indianapolis.
Think about the pressure that you're under when you get drafted by an MLS team and they say, okay, go ahead and play 8 more games, then we'll sign you. Good step.
Does Hackshaw give it a blast? Nope, plays to a teammate, Aguilera. Well defended, and that'll be a foul on Aguilera. Great recovery, that time by Red Bulls too.
Unreal, yep.
And perhaps a missed opportunity by the Indy 11.
Oh yeah, Hackshaw and Aguilera had a 2v1 there, and Mullings did everything he could to chase that down and deny the opportunity.
Mullings, the 20th player selected in this year's MLS Super Draft. His 3 assists on the year. Tied for 9th in the league entering the weekend. Jeremy Kelly has 5 to lead the league from Memphis 901. Felipe slides it across.
Oh, what a ball.
Creating opportunities have not been a problem for Red Bulls too. It's the cashing in of them that have been the problem.
Yeah, we just saw it on the other end when Arteaga put that ball across, and the framing and the spacing in the box that Indy 11 had. This ball from Felipe goes right through the 6, and there's not an RB2 player that can find the other end of it.
Here is Ilya Turkus. He is one of many players on this team that is playing on an academy deal. Ilya is 16 years of age. And Ilya scored a goal last week against Hartford Athletic. It is Adebayo Smith who is the player being subbed out. He will go the long way around as Turkus will come in. So Raffanello will stay in the match. Turkus is the youngest player in the USL Championship to score a goal this year. And that is our nugget of the game. Presented by Impact Financial Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial, where you get advice worth talking about. Sometimes you don't even tell the producer when those are coming.
You just
throw
throw it out
spur in
there.
a moment off the top of the head. Thank you to Greg Wiedekamp for reacting to that on the fly. But I think youngest player in the league to score a goal this year is worthy of the nugget of the game, don't you?
Unreal. Then you think about that. He's 16 years old. He's getting on an airplane. Most soccer players at 16 years old are getting on a yellow school bus with no seatbelts and going to games.
Offside flag goes up. So the Indy offense has not produced the chances early in the first half, but they did late in half number 2. Indy still sitting on all 5 subs as well. And again, they have quite the selection to choose from in terms of players available off the bench. Tonight's match presented in part by the Denny Companies. Tearing down the past so you can build the future.
Yeah, you talk about the guys that are on buses going to games that make this jump. Palmer Alt is in the
Correct.
18 for Indy 11. Just won a state championship for Noblesville.
He's played in 2 matches as a sub this year. He's the lone academy player that is available for selection tonight. But the other players, Nicky Law, again, Solomon Asante, and as Mark Lowry said, really want to kind of get him 10 to 15 minutes tonight. So I would think 75th, 80th minute as far as solo is concerned.
That's one of those crazy things. You say, okay, you know, why do you gotta work them in? Can't that happen through training? And it's just different.
Right.
Game minutes are different than training minutes. It's so difficult to just run and do sprints and train in this game without game minutes, actually getting your cardio up to be able to handle 90 minutes.
Fans, you can take the boys in blue with you wherever you go. Download the all-new Indy 11 app in the Apple Store or get it on Google Play. Fjellberg.
What a throw.
The lift. Chan, late decision, but still made the right decision to go get it. How about that young man? He made 1 start his first 3 years at UC Davis and now playing professional soccer.
You know, I'll tell you, that is such a great message to send to kids. Never give up on your dream. You know, if you got guys in front of you that are a little bit better and they're getting the minutes, keep fighting, keep scratching and clawing.
Hackshaw steers it back to Elliot Panico. Elliot Panico shares a college alma mater with 2 of the best ever play for the Indy 11. I'll tell you about that in a matter of moments. Opportunity developing here for Red Bulls 2.
A little too slow to build up here. You allowed, 7 players to get back behind the ball.
Here's Najum. Tried to slide it through. Hackshaw got in the way. Then Hackshaw gets in the way a second time.
Sneaky little run by Mullings.
Aguilera and Fjellberg not on the same page. Speaking of Mullings, now Raffanello. Fjellberg will have a throw in for the Indy 11. We'll reference Elliot Panico. Played his college soccer at the University of Charlotte. The same collegiate alma mater as a guy we've already bragged about in this broadcast, in Tyler Gibson. Now of Lou City, but the same collegiate alma mater as former Indy 11 netminder and now the goalkeeping coach and Hibernian. The Scottish Premier League, that being one John Bush.
Unreal. Unreal. What a career he had.
Arteaga. Kid. Just kind of chips it forward. Goldberg claimed he got swiped, that time inadvertently by contact. Throw in coming here for Indy in minute number 66.
He can put it in the 6 from here.
We have evidence of that from half number 1.
There is video evidence. You are correct.
Almost put in the same spot. Chan the punch. Didn't exactly clear it completely. Now Hackshaw with a bit of space.
Oh, what a move.
Feldberg the target. Possession's not a bad thing right now for the Indy 11.
I'll tell you what, Powder is dialed in.
Don't miss a minute of the action in 2022. Whether your club is on the road or at home, catch nearly every second of USL Championship action on ESPN+. Home of the USL, MLS, La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com.
What a ball.
Take away by Red Bulls too. But Jared Timmer seemingly had it on lockdown. Panico sweeps it away nonetheless.
And that's a good decision by Panico. He's got the field in front of him. He can see, call him off of it because he can play a one-touch ball and actually change field position as opposed to a couple touches on the back line.
Aguilera deemed to have been a bit too physical on the challenge of the former Indy 11 man and Jeremy Raffanello. Jeremy never had the chance to play at this facility. He played with a team the last year that they called Lucas Oil Stadium home. By the way, I think it's been a very well officiated game so far tonight. I'd agree with that. Was deemed worthy of a foul against Raul Aguilera. Chance for the training staff to come out. Another outstanding night for Manuel Arteaga.
He just makes things happen.
Referenced he is one of 5 players that has scored double-digit goals in a season for the Indy 11. The others being Tyler Pasher, Eamon Zayed, Jack McInerney. I'm thinking of the fourth.
Is it just Justin Bruin?
He never scored double digits in a single season because he unfortunately had to deal with some injuries.
McInerney, Arteaga, Eamon, Pasher.
Tyler Pasher, yeah. Did I say Eamon Zayed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there 5? Is there a 5th one?
Sounds like it.
Oh, now that's going to drive me crazy. Well, here's a trivia question for you, too. This Indianapolis-born cyclist is in the U.S. Cycling Hall of Fame, which is in New Jersey, where they're based, and wound up winning the American Sprint Championship in front of 60,000 people in Madison Square Garden.
Well, the famous cyclist from Indianapolis is Major Taylor that comes to mind, but I don't know a more modern version of that.
That's it. That's the version.
Okay. Ball lifted in. Looking back post, and it was Turkis up and over the back of the net.
Yeah, those are those moments of the game that Coach Lowry talks about. Here's a situation. You can't get beat to the ball in the box.
So did I get it right in terms of Major Taylor?
You did. You did. That's going back to your 1900 cycling history.
There was this wonderful mural that was just painted of Major in downtown Indianapolis. And the Velodrome next to Marion University, which was the home for cycling events in the '87 Pan American Games, much like this venue was the host of the opening ceremonies in the '87 Pan American Games. Said Velodrome is named after Major Taylor, just off of 38th Street.
Think about that. A professional cyclist in the 1900s. That's got to be a tough way to make a living.
Chan was bothered at the edge of the 18 on that one. Able to play it out to safety. And there have been scoring chances for Red Bulls too, but Indy has really not felt threatened with his 2-goal lead here in half number 2. Najum, good looking ball here. And Indy still has all 5 substitutions at their disposal.
Look at that! Look at that teamwork in transition. Mcqueen is actually on the ball in that moment as the top defender, and
taking a tumble that time, Felipe with the foul.
So he's got a lot of space behind him, Mcqueen. In transition, RB2 is coming. Ingram comes over from his spot in the 6 to apply the pressure. It allows Mcqueen to drop back, provide cover, and gives the team back its defensive shape.
Timmer has been fantastic tonight, as he usually is. Fans, a reminder, watch Wish TV, your local news source. Find them online at wishtv.com. Of course, coming up at 10 o'clock here on My Indy TV, you'll see the 10 o'clock news courtesy of Wish TV. Boy, Jeremy Raffanello has picked up a yellow card away from our camera action. Second yellow of the match to go against RB2. And Arteaga whistled for the foul. Stefano Pino will be the first Indy 11 substitution of the night. Whom he is coming in for yet, we have yet to see, because he has not made his way to the fourth official, but is standing by and ready to go.
Same situation right there. You know, that's such an awesome thing to see as a coach. When that scenario happens, Ingram pops out of the middle to apply the pressure so Mcqueen can keep his shape.
Looks like Solomon Asante about to make his Indy 11 debut as well. Great looking ball here. You would assume with the combination of Pino and Asante about to enter, that Manuel Arteaga's night could be coming to an end. Looks like he won't get one last touch on the ball here, as that effort just a bit strong. Hyatt Place and Hyatt House, downtown Indianapolis. Experience comfort in downtown Indy. They're looking for their 5th win in 10 matches played.
Oh,
Hackshaw
almost
recovers. Felipe was in an offside position. Another almost for Red Bulls too.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Felipe's been dangerous. He's causing a lot of opportunities with his pressure. He's floating right on that back line. He's driven a couple balls across.
You know, so often we have seen in years gone by kind of great goal scorers for Red Bulls too. They have been guys that have been on MLS contracts. And again, the last couple of years, because of the pandemic and COVID-19 restrictions, you have seen less of the MLS guys playing, you know, at this level. Think about a guy like Tom Barlow and what he did at this level, in addition to scoring goals in Major League Soccer, but he would find them back then on the regular basis for Red Bulls too.
Yeah, I think the last time we saw him was in that playoff game.
And a chance here. Raffanello heads towards the back post. Felipe couldn't pick him out. Good job by Mcqueen to get in the way. It will be a corner coming up here for Red Bulls too. Felipe, a young man who is from Connecticut and played his college soccer in the Nutmeg State. Played for the Fairfield Stags. 19 goals and 59 career matches at Fairfield. Felipe sends it in. Arteaga got there first. Mullings with the redirection. And Panico all over it. As someone that played the position professionally for over a decade, Brad, what are you seeing from Elliot Panico so far this year for Indy?
I'll tell you, the positioning's been great. And you look at the shot stopping. I mean, some of the reads, you take a look at that read early in the game, just to come out and get a hand on that ball to the back post. If he doesn't do it, Indy's down 1-0 early. So the reads have been great, the athleticism, the positioning, the shot stopping.
Well done by Knapp. You should have a special place in your heart for Michael Knapp. He played Division III soccer at Montclair State University, which is the home facility for Red Bulls too.
That is a great program too.
For those that know, my partner, the head coach at DePaul University, about 40 minutes west of Indianapolis. Turkish the target. And headed back where Panico can buy a little real estate, and then snag it with those gloves. Let's thank our friends, the Morales Group. Staffing agencies find jobs. Morales Group, we build futures. Sam Brown couldn't get to that. Jerome with the clearance.
Good recovery.
Feldberg knocks it forward. Perfectly timed run by Arteaga. Feldberg to his right. Arteaga goes to ground. Official having none of it. We play on. Castillo seem to have won the challenge legally. And subs now coming in for the Indy 11. We're going to see Stefano Pino, the leading goal scorer for the Indy 11, with 4 this season. He'll come in for tonight's goal scorer, Jonas Feldberg. Noah Powder done for the night, and welcome to the Indy 11, Solomon Asante.
Look out.
54 goals and 42 assists in 109 appearances with Phoenix Rising. His awaited Indy 11 debut. If you're Mark Lowry, what do you want to see from Solomon Asante in a kind of cameo role here to start the season?
You just want to see some connectivity with the guys. You'd like to see them starting to blend. Had a little bit of weekend training right now, so he's getting familiar with his teammates, the way that they want to play.
Solomon arrived last weekend while the team was in Memphis. So 3 subs available for Indy if necessary. Alt, Cochran, Michael, and Nicky Law amongst those available.
And the tough part when you're down 2-0, you really have to step. You got to press. You got to try and take the opportunities to win that ball back and get an opportunity to get to goal. And even with the subs, it looks like RB2 is a little gassed right now.
And they have 5 subs available off the bench in tonight's match. They've already used 2 at halftime. Mullings.
That's not a
Felipe.
Not a bad thought. Not a bad thought.
Serwada switches up the attack. Long distance blast that Panico had to get a hand to.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise, Jeffrey Rapinello.
Yep. If he's on the field, he's on.
Amanda Wallace, Josh Laritson leading the charge in the capo stands for the Brickyard Battalion tonight. I know Amanda was amongst the group that went to Louisville last night to watch the women's team play Racing Louisville FC and pick up a 2-0 victory. Good looking ball across the edge of the 18. Arteaga,
what a
flick.
touch. That's a great thought. The touch was just a little too much in front of him.
Pino couldn't connect to it. New Mexico United up next for the Indy 11. Again, folks, that is a 4 o'clock kickoff, an earlier start time than usual. That is to give you a little extra time, to get some sleep before you join 300,000 of your closest friends at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway next Sunday. The Racing Indy jerseys will be in effect next Saturday as well. I have seen them. They are glorious. Indy11.com has more.
You asked, as a coach, what you want to see from Asante in these 15 minutes. Anything but that. You don't want to see contact. You don't want to see him in a position where, as he's trying to get his game fitness back, he's in the middle of some contact.
By the way, Jack Casey is going to check in here. And much like Adam Najim, he is on a short-term contract. This is his first appearance in USL Championship match for Red Bulls 2. Jack played at Notre Dame, had 77 matches for the Irish, including 55 starts. And there's Raul Aguilera that's getting stretched out a little bit. And watch the match. Turn on Sirius XMFC, channel 157. North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access. Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock with Mike Watson, Devin Kerr. Your live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more. All on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. Asante deemed to have been offside. Rodney Michael about to make an appearance for the Indy 11.
Oh, good ball. Raffanello with a clever push out wide.
Now Felipe plays it across. Timmer got a boot to it. And Arteaga is trying to launch Pino.
When you look at those balls slotted through the box, and Jerome, Timmer, Panico have gotten just enough of each one of these to make sure they don't wind up going back post.
Flag stay. Nope, that's up. Just late to go up, but saw the Indy 11 defenders respond immediately, thinking that Ofori was offside, and he was. Let's see if this is Rodney Michael's entrance point into the match. Looks like it will be. He's going to replace Raul Aguilera. Rodney, a good depth piece for this team. Young man that was signed a couple of weeks into the season from Sierra Leone. Played his college soccer at UC Santa Barbara.
And I tell you what, great move by the 11 coaching staff. You know, Aguilera's put in a lot of miles, a little bit of contact. You can't afford to lose him at this point.
Michael got an immediate first touch into this match, and it will be a corner kick. Final 5 minutes plus stoppage time. Brought to us by your Central Indiana Honda dealers. Arteaga kind of head to it, just couldn't steer it on frame. In an own goal against Red Bulls 2, Avante Mullings and Jonas Fjellberg's second goal of the season. And that'll be a foul against Rodney Michael as Sherwada went flying. That was unfortunate timing as Sherwada was right on top of the track when that hip check occurred. Frankly, it's been a rather nondescript second half, and that's okay from the perspective of the team that is playing with a 2-goal advantage, which would be the Indy 11. Michael.
Yeah, just a little bit of fatigue right now. Some of these fouls out, you just can't get your feet moving enough to get yourself in the right position defensively.
Michael is the perfect kind of player to chase the game late for the Indy 11. He kind of buzzes all over the joint, does Rodney.
Oh, my goodness.
Good looking flick forward here that Elliot Panico pounces on. I'm not sure Raffanello has enough left in the tank to finish the match. He always got to have a little extra motivation against his former team tonight.
And I tell you, when your tank is empty and you're a goal scorer and that ball is played in the space for you to go to goal, there's an extra gear.
You find a reserve tank.
There's a reserve tank somewhere.
He had 6 to lead Red Bulls 2 a year ago. He's got 2 of their 6 so far this year. Red Bulls 2 trying to avoid being blanked for a 7th time in 11 matches this year. These two will play each other again July 15th. A Friday night match in New Jersey.
Wow.
Bowings.
Wow.
Nice move. Swept away. Back to midfield. That is Murphy, by the way, that is queuing up at the 4th official to enter for Red Bulls 2. Here's Asante. Nothing there in that one for Asante. Sirwada. Castillo.
Yeah, good movement.
Raffanello.
Tired legs right there.
Jerome made contact late, but well after that ball was off the foot of Jeremy Raffanello. The weather better than expected tonight. The result, I think, about what the home fans expected tonight. In this case, he played it to Raffanello, and Raffanello just again couldn't keep it on frame.
And I tell you, the way that Meshach Jerome was closing down Raffanello, he had to pull the trigger on that shot quicker than he wanted to. You know, ideally he would want it to drop a little bit more, so it's a little bit lower and he can put it on frame. But the way that Jerome was pressing the ball, he had to get the shot off.
Jeremy, I hope, having some good-natured conversation with the Brickyard Battalion as a former Indy 11 player. By the way, all of our substitutions tonight brought to us by our friends at Jiffy Lube of Indiana. Raffanello can kind of stay behind the opposing goal because Murphy came in to replace him. Would not think an overabundance of stoppage time will be added here. 3 is the number. Anything more than 3 is right out. Name the movie.
No idea.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Anything more than 3 is right out?
Yes.
I've seen that movie about 10 times. Where is that scene?
Right where the like the vicious rabbit towards the end of the movie. Look at the bones. Pino able to shoulder that one away.
Here you go. This is one of those moments you got to be dialed in on. You don't want to make this a 2-1 game and provide a little bit of energy for RB2 to close out these last 2 minutes. Win the cross. And if you're RB2, you're thinking, hey, let's make it happen. This is our chance.
Little loose change. Deemed to have been a foul committed by Red Bulls 2. And the trainer will be asked to come on.
His body's everywhere.
By the way, we hope to talk to Jonas Feldberg and Jared Timmer, along with head coach Mark Lowry in our post-game show. Presented by your Central Indiana Honda dealers, as well as Bet Rivers. Neither of these teams play a midweek match. Red Bulls 2 will play at home next. They play on Friday night. Indy, as we have mentioned a couple of times, playing New Mexico United, one of their 8 matches against Western competition. Western Conference competition, I should say. Indy has 2 of their 4 Western road trips for the season next month. When they take on Cam Lindley and the Colorado Springs Switchbacks, a team that has won 8 times already this season. And they will go to San Diego Loyal. See Landon Donovan's squad towards the end of June. Michael knocks it forward. Pino. Flag went up as Pino went after it. And A.J. Cochran. I'm not sure A.J. will work up a sweat at this point. Coming in with some 20 seconds left to go. But he will come in to replace Manuel Arteaga.
I'll tell you, I think the move is he's a ball winner in the air. And if there's going to be a restart, another corner, let's make sure we've got our best opportunity.
I don't think there's a restart after this one, to be honest with you. Another great effort put in by Manuel Arteaga tonight. May not have the stat line to show it, but Manuel certainly did his job this evening. Well, just as much as the action on the ball, we look at the referee. There will be a whistle here as Ofori goes to the ground. Curtis Ofori, just 16 years of age, has already made a couple of appearances in the U.S. under-19 camp.
Now, here are the moments where you see coaching genius. What's your bet Cochran wins this ball?
Panico with a punch. Mcqueen with a boot to it.
It's a good read. Way to be quick off his line.
Another foul against Indy. And we have gotten past 4 minutes at this juncture. One more set piece to deal with for the Indy 11. The outcome has been determined. Perhaps the final margin has not been. Brown got to it. Michael scampering towards it. And that's it. 4th consecutive home match victory for the Indy 11. 2nd consecutive home clean sheet. And the 2nd match in a row that a goal belongs to Jonas Feldberg for the Indy 11. It all added up to a 2-0 victory this evening. Brad, your final thoughts on this one?
Well, you like it. You got that rhythm back. A little bit off in Memphis, and I think sometimes that happens when you've got that long break. You like that long break because it gives you a chance to get a little bit of a rhythm with the ball. It gives you a little bit of a chance to get some guys healthy. But the thing is, your second team can never replicate the pace of somebody else's first team. So when it's too long of a stretch, sometimes it can cause you to take your foot off the gas.
5 wins, 2 draws, and 3 losses in the first 10 efforts for the Indy 11 this season. Stay tuned. Post-game coverage comes your way next here on ESPN Plus and My Indy TV. Indy 11 Soccer on My Indy TV and ESPN Plus. Presented by your Central Indiana Honda dealers, the official auto sponsor of the Indy 11. And by Community Health Sports Medicine. Exceptional care, simply delivered. The flag flies in victory for the Indy 11 tonight. Final score, Indy 11-2, Red Bulls 2-0. Our final score brought to us by Sherwin-Williams. More than 25 locations across Indianapolis. Your neighborhood paint store is always there to provide the perfect finish. Mark Lauer will tell you his perfect recipe for a home match is get an early lead and play keep away. And that is exactly what the Indy 11 did. The own goal got him started on the throw-in by Neville Hackshaw. It was followed up by a delivery of brilliance from Noah Powder. The finish, every bit as sweet from Jonas Feldberg. And in the second half, not much happened. And for the home side, that's perfectly fine.
I got to tell you, watching that ball again off of Noah Powder's foot and the way he played it is just masterful.
Indy 11 back at home next Saturday to take on New Mexico United. Again, kickoff time for that game is at 4. That is also when our coverage will begin on My Indy TV and ESPN Plus. For our national audience, we bid you a fond farewell from Indy. For those of you watching on television locally, stay tuned. Post-game coverage continues next on My Indy TV.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.